This lesson is isosceles and equilateral triangles, and the goal is to use properties of isosceles and equilateral triangles. The standards are congruence, number 13, and similarity, right triangles and trig, number 5. What you should understand by the end of the lesson is that the angles and sides of isosceles and equilateral triangles have special relationships. Isosceles triangles are common in the real world. You can frequently see them in structures such as bridges and buildings, as well as in art and design. The congruent sides of an isosceles triangle are called its legs. The third side is called the base. The two congruent legs form the vertex angle. There's the vertex angle. The other two angles are called the base angles. The isosceles triangle theorem states that if two sides of a triangle are congruent, then the angles opposite those sides are congruent. That means if you have two congruent sides, the base angles will be congruent. But all three angles will still have to add up to 180 degrees. The converse of that same theorem states that if two angles of a triangle are congruent, then their opposite sides are also congruent. It's just stating the same thing in a different way. The first question is, what is the value of t? I notice I have two congruent sides and a vertex angle. There's the vertex angle. The three angles have to equal 180, and because I know the vertex angle, that means these two angles must be the exact same measurement. So I'm going to start by taking 180 minus the base angle, which gives me 114. I take 114, divide it by 2, and I get 57. I'm dividing it by 2 because angle E and angle C are going to be the same. So the measurement of angle 2 is 57 degrees, or sorry, the measurement of angle T is 57 degrees. Your first practice problem says, what is the value of P? This question says, what is the value of B? Notice B is not an angle measurement, but a side length. And we've learned that if you have two congruent angles, I know they're congruent because of the one arc, then their opposite sides are also congruent. So this is really pretty easy. The length of B is also 18. Your practice problem 2 says, what is the value of Z? Z is also a side length. This question asks what the values of A and B are. A is this angle and B is this angle. Well, hopefully you know that if sides are congruent, their opposite angles are also congruent, which means that angle A is also 31 degrees. To find angle B, we add the 31 plus 31, which is 62, and subtract it from 180. And I get 118 degrees. So the measurement of angle B is 118 degrees. Your practice problem 3 said, what are the values of X and Y? Be sure to look for which angle you're missing. So where are you now that you've seen this video? Hopefully you're not at I don't get it. If you are, go back and watch the video again. I sort of get it. We want you to be at I got this. And some of you will be so good you can teach this. That takes us to the end of our lesson. Goodbye.